Finally, Africa is electing young Pan-Africanist leaders. Congratulations are in order to Diomaye Faye for the opportunity that the Senegal youth has entrusted him with. And I can tell you right now, he is the right man for the job. You saw a message of congratulations from the youngest president, Ibrahim Traoré from Burkina Faso. And it's promising to see Ibrahim saying to Faye, to say, I am willing to work with you. Let's speak about Ibrahim, let's speak about Julius Malema, let's speak about Diomaye Faye and how these leaders come together.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Black Heart, the Hustle Continua. 100% good quality t-shirts, made to inspire your goals and dreams. T-shirts are now available at an affordable price. Place your order now. 068-473-6908. Instagram at Black7576. Facebook page Black Heart.
Devant Dieu et devant la nation sénégalaise, je jure de remplir fidèlement la charge de président de la République du Sénégal, d'observer comme de faire observer scrupuleusement les dispositions de la Constitution et des lois, de consacrer toutes mes forces à défendre les institutions constitutionnelles, l'intégrité du territoire, l'indépendance nationale et de ne ménager enfin aucun effort pour la réalisation de l'unité africaine.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm the host, the King 053, Mr. Easy Imadi. And we're back at it again with another one, and we're going back to Senegal, where the inauguration of the incoming president took place. Diomaye Faye, I mean, you know what? I am so happy for this young man. 44 years old, a Pan-Africanist, two beautiful wives. Every African man should have two beautiful wives. That's just a sidebar. And, you know, we are happy that Usman Sonko has allowed this young man to take the shine and has entrusted him and even praised him to say this man is more capable than me. Those who don't know, Usman is like the Julius Malema of Senegal. He was arrested repeatedly because they were trying to stop their political party in becoming a success. And I am happy to see that Usman has no bitterness in his heart, and he allowed his friend, they were friends working together as tax collectors, and they've been doing a great job there, you know. So to see the two young men coming together and, you know, working together in one political party, it brings joy to us as Africans. What is happening in Senegal is the same thing that is happening in Burkina Faso with Ibrahim Traoré. Even though Burkina Faso, I would say, was in a more privileged point because he was in the army and he managed to take over the president of Burkina Faso with the army to say, you are wasting our time. You are sitting inside of France as you are killing the economy of Burkina Faso. We cannot take it anymore. And ever since that young man took over in Burkina Faso, their lives has changed. He has joined hands with Russia. And we as Pan-Africanists, we don't have a problem with joining hands with Russia. We don't have a problem joining hands with India. We don't have a problem joining hands with China. Why? Because they never colonized a single country in Africa. So we can work with such people, even though we work with them in a careful note, because they all need Africa, by the way. Africa does not need anyone, they need Africa. But we can work with those countries because they never colonized us. So that's a big plus for us as Africans. Now we see that Diomaye, Mr. Faye has got a moment of a task in front of him to resurrect the spirit of Pan-Africanism in Senegal. And we saw it by him when he took over his speech. He started by saying, no more that we will continue paying France and allowing France looting us as a country. It has to come to an end. He said France clash and grab on the west of Africa must stop. That is one thing that I love. And we saw when he was inaugurated, there was a president from all around Africa. The old man of Nigeria was also there. And for me, I'm like, we need young men to take over. These young men, all of them, they believe in an Africa without borders. They believe in that. That's why I love Ibrahim. I love, what's his name? The general of Mali, especially the general of Mali. I love the general of Niger also. They opened their countries to each other, free flow of movement because they are bordering each other. They said, listen, we're not going to restrict our people in terms of movement. Our people can move. And you saw the same thing happening this past week where the president of Botswana and the president of Zimbabwe said, we are opening our borders. You don't need a passport anymore to travel from one country to another. You just show your ID document and you can go and visit that country for up to 90 days without any question. After 90 days, you have to go back home. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the beauty of Africans uniting. Now the question then remains, will South Africa follow suit and vote for a young president? Julius Malema is what? 42 years old? 42 years old is Julius Malema. If we miss to select Julius Malema right now, we're going to get Julius Malema at 47 years old and almost at 50 years old. You know, unless something happens in between the terms, because you'll never know in South Africa. But, you know, I wish that South Africans can see this opportunity and say, we also have got a young man who is celebrated, by the way. Diomaye Faye, they were not well known in the rest of Africa. They were well known in the west of Africa, yes, but in the central and the east and also the south of Africa, not that much. You know, some of you know, you're hearing his name for the first time. So that's why you need to stick to this channel, because we give you information like this. So I hope South Africa will say, listen, we have a Julius Malema. He might not be perfect. He might not be, you know, the savior we need. But one thing for sure, he is a Pan-Africanist. And he's speaking about the unity of Africa. Many African people, you'll be surprised, don't want the unity of Africa, especially South Africans. I'm South African myself, so I know my South African people. Especially South African, they see themselves as the Dubai of Africa, where they don't want to mix with other countries. South Africans are not tolerant. Not all of them are not tolerant of other African countries, because they see Zimbabwe as a poorer country, Lesotho as a poorer country, Mozambique as a poorer country, Swaziland as a poorer country, Namibia as a poorer country, and Botswana, even though their currencies, some of these countries are doing better than ours compared to the dollar. You know, South Africans, they just don't care. But anyway, I'm asking myself, would South Africa give a president like Julius Malema an opportunity to get into a parliament seat where he is president? Do you guys want to miss this opportunity? Because remember, even Diomaye, he's 44 years old. After a term, 5-year term, he will be, 49 years old. He's an old man. in other people's eyes. Once you get close to 50, you jump 50, you go to 60, you're an old man. For me, a good young politician is anyone below the age of 55. That's a good young politician for me. And then I want to believe, and I would love it if politicians do not jump the age of 70. It's like, no, man. You are at 70 years old, no, you need to sit down. In fact, let's say 65. 70 is also too close to 80. Anything close to 80 for me, no. And we have that situation in South Africa where we love Julius Jacob Zuma so much. A true Pan-Africanist, working very hard for Africans, understands the idea of uniting Africa and all of that. But the man is 82 years old. You take him and you compare him to Julius Malema. I think Julius Malema ticks much more boxes than Jacob Zuma. But we are not here to speak about the old man. We love the old man. Jacob Zuma is the best president South Africa has ever had. When I say South Africa, I mean South Africans has ever had in the history of South Africa. He's the best president. So congratulations again are in order to this young man, our big brother who is now the president of Senegal. Mr. Faye, we wish you all the best. We're praying for you and we are united behind you if you are going to try and unite Africa. But I have no doubt in my mind that this is the correct person to do this job. So you guys go in the comment section, tell me what you think. Are you guys voting Julius Malema in, or are you bringing back Jacob Zuma? Or maybe you're going to stick with the ANC, or maybe you'll be doing something stupid like voting for the DA, or whatever you're going to be doing. Go in the comment section and tell me what is it. How do you feel with the direction of Africa electing young people? Kenya gave us the route, and now we saw with Ibrahim, now with Faye. I mean, we've got young leaders now, and I think that's very good. Out of the 54 states, there is a little bit more than 54 states in Africa, but we have maybe 4 or 5 that are fairly young, under the age of 50. So that's very good. That's very good. Let's hope that we will get much more of our leaders there. Until we meet next time, don't forget to pray. And after you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.